Hola! It's March 19th. I'm MJ. Let's get into our reading. So I like to get a pulse on the collective energies, certainly from a loving perspective or like a spiritual higher perspective. I offer private readings, so feel free to book if you resonate. Otherwise, let's get into it. So Tuesday, ooh, happy equinox, my lovers. Spring equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere. What? Very exciting times. I'm like an astrology addict. I really obsess and just, that's pretty much all I consume. You could say it's a bit of a hobby or a pastime, or maybe even like a new area of research and training. Anywho, my lovers, divine guidance and loving clarity for this magical spring day. Oh, yes, it's actually spring. Oh my God. I had a moment where I thought, is it still Feb? No, it's definitely March. It's almost April. What is happening? What is time? Does anybody really know what's going on? Oh, nice card. 9 of Pentacles. Very good. So this is for the All to Love Collective. Divine guidance and loving clarity. Divine guidance and loving clarity for the All to Love Collective. Let's see what we get. Divine guidance and loving clarity. Cutting stuff out. I think some of you have, it's like some of you have made a decision to really focus on your money. Yeah, it's like not putting attention toward your weaknesses or your soft spots, as it were. Feeling abandoned, feeling left out. You're like, you know what? I'm just over it. I can't go there anymore. I am enough. I can do this. Temperance energy, grounded, balanced, honing or refining your emotional sense of self, your awareness, being really grounded, being connected to the elements as well, and your divinity. The Temperance card in the traditional Rider-Waite has these like angel wings and sort of like Christed light consciousness on the crown of their head. So there's an aspect of like seeing, you know, like seeing the oracle version or the seer, whilst being grounded, turning your back. Basically, it's like relying on your faith rather than your past experiences, especially if they're murky in the feels of like not having enough, feeling left out, feeling like you've been left out of potential money-making business opportunities, right? But we have the central energy, the 9 of Pentacles, and I'm kind of getting that feeling of like, just keep going, you're nearly there. Just keep going, you're nearly there. The King of Wands, I do feel is your energy as far as empowering that risk-taking side of you. Because that King of Wands is like determined. They're focusing on that 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles is a self-made energy. To me, it's like the highest rung of an individual's journey of making money. And to be fair, it's like that situation of say a startup company or just any business that has been started by a person and it grows. And any business that grows to these like multinational or just big companies, it will get to that point where that one person just can only do so much, right? So the 9 of Pentacles becomes the 10, because that 9 of Pentacles keeps generating to the point of pulling in people to assist in generating the more factor, right? So your ability to, I guess it's like a recommitment of really believing in make a decision to believe in yourself. It's that. It's like, you've got to be strong sometimes. I've spoken to this so often on any transformational plane of existence, where it's not like pressing a button on our phone. It's not this sort of like, okay, superficial non-thing. Commitment to profound change, i.e., you know, if we continue to make regular changes, that's the inevitable transformational process. And there are times during that change, people who have gone through weight loss journeys know this, like any big changes, we will have points where we're like, fuck this, or like there's no change, or why am I even doing this? I might as well just go back to my old self. And that's where that biblical quote of devil get thee behind me, and I talk about it in my book, the mind battle. it would seem like, and to me, the mind battle is the battle between our old self, or a default setting, I call it, of the victimhood or separation consciousness or not enoughness, guilt and shame. Well, guilt and shame are so like dense, right? So we often have to relieve ourselves, transform or alchemize those lower density vibration, and move ourselves very consciously into higher realms, more money, more wealth, more health, more abundance, more love, right? Because in truth, these qualities, freedom, abundance, love, peace, it really truly isn't attached to the so-called material world. I mean, yes, there is a through line, obviously. What I mean by that is that the having money and wealth doesn't have to be corrupted, you know? I think that's the ish that some of us might feel in moments of our own transformational work, where like, oh, if I only had more money, if I only had, and yet my observation is that, wow, it's such a fascinating piece, because the life issues that any human has truly, their relationship with money, basically, it's all intertwined, if that is making sense at all. So what I'm saying is, like, it kind of doesn't matter how much you have, it matters what your relationship is with it, because you could have just a few, but if you love those few and you're loving what you do and you love how you generate it, that is more than enough, right? I think in this day and age, the big issue is, of course, being able to be comfortable, being able to be relaxed. And I think a lot of us might resonate, like when we're being triggered and having hardcore worries about whether we can put food on the table, or whether we can pay rent, or whether we can pay our bills, or et cetera, that is exhausting. And it can be super detrimental to the nervous system. A lot of us understand that even from like living in familial dynamics, or having a childhood where the guardians were super stressed about money all the time, or had maybe conflicted relationships. Like, that's where I think more and more generationally are unpacking that complex post-traumatic stress disorders. You know, we talk about ADHD, but they say, like Gabor Mate and other research is saying that the ADHD and a lot of these mental disorders or behavioral disorders are all stemming from trauma. Trauma is early on, it's neglect, it's abandonment, it's inherited aspects, possibly ancestral or generational, right? So we're talking about a humanity that's all traumatized, who for the most part is trying to pretend we're not traumatized. And yeah, it's just kind of a weird one. And so here we are. I'm like, you know, these cards are good. And I think for some of you, having been through the Temperance next to Five of Pentacles, is making me feel like if you're resonating here, it's because you've transformed the five. You've really alchemized and let go of, I don't belong, woe is me, I'm never gonna fit in anywhere. You're like, no, I'm good, I'm divine, and we're all divine, and so halashazam to my default, right? You're probably cutting out a sense of lack or immaturity or impulsiveness. Knight of Swords reverse. You're having to be really grounded and firm, and probably like not make impulsive decisions. So you're cutting out that behavioral pattern. If you've been in business a long time, then that, I personally as well, like, you learn these sorts of lessons. Like, you know, people would say, don't make a decision if you're feeling really depressed or pressurized about it. But I've also experienced it's polarized in the same direction. Don't make a decision if you're super excited, like, yeah, this is going to be great, this is going to work, because that's not necessarily grounded either. So it's that middle way, it's that inner truth and knowing, which again, we only get to really hone those aspects of self by living life, by making choices and living out the consequences of some of our choices. Because, yeah, we think we know, we don't really, usually. Yeah, there is this sense of really staying grounded, staying calm. I'm hearing like cutting out the riffraff, right? and being disciplined. The more grounded we are, the more disciplined we can be in the mind. I'm going to leave it there, you guys. Have a great day. Love you loads. Peace out.